Hello and welcome to a very special episode 55 with me, Andrew Reid from Resilient Business Systems, and
me, Adam Walker, HubSpoke Media. Hello, sir. We're on camera. It's a bit different sounding today. We're on the road. We may as well just embrace that now. I've got headphones on, ish. We've got someone sat between us. We're on the road, Mr.
We're on
Reid.
the road.
Do you want to tell us where we are?
We are in the beautiful Darlington Library.
We are indeed. I am also producing this podcast on the fly. So if you see me staring with headphones, checking, because I'm waiting for the guest to speak. I'm waiting for the guest to speak, and then we can do that. But yes, good morning. How are you? How's your week?
It's been incredible. As in, I've not even known what time it is. I have sat down at my desk at 8 o'clock and then went, it's 5:30, I'm going home. Oh, 5:30, I'm going home. It has been crazy, crazy busy, but rewarding, I'd like to say. Got Facility 6, our lovely friends, Dan and James. I've got them migrated over to Microsoft 365 and Teams. The Teams training is on Monday, so looking forward to that. And following on from our other episode, using Gemini AI Pro. Oh, my word.
Right, last week, if you didn't see it, I had some hair drawn on my head, courtesy of Mr. Reid. He's just shown our special guest.
Exactly. Anyway, would you like to introduce our special guest?
90s boy band is all I've had this week, so thank you very much for that. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
I was thinking about that.
All right, special guest.
Hello, special guest.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself so our listener?
Yes, I'm Suzy Hill and I oversee libraries in Darlington.
Wow, that's an exciting job.
It's a really exciting job, and it's been especially exciting over the last few years doing the restoration, the refurbishment.
It
really
has
exciting.
been tremendous. Adam's been keeping me up to date quite regularly.
Well, he was our champion photographer.
Oh,
I've never been called a champion before, thank you.
Not to your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of other names from behind your back.
All sorts of names, but champion to my face is nice.
Champion.
I'll take that. So obviously you can hear we're sat in, I mean, if I was going to set up a podcast studio, I'd probably have to go with a room with a smaller ceiling. But
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have many of them.
You don't have many of them, because how old is the library?
Well, this half was built in 1885. So I think we're celebrating 130 years next year. Would that be right?
130 years, I have no idea. My maths.
Maybe 140 years. How's your maths?
Mine is
And
terrible.
the other half of the library was built in 1933. Still very high ceilings.
Yeah, so the bit I've talked about on the podcast when I was doing the photos of the renos, we're going to talk about that because that was amazing, was the old picture that lives with me. We're seeing all the gentry with the top hats on the top layer when the cornerstone, is it called cornerstone?
Yeah,
when that was placed. So you got scaffolding around essentially a brick and everyone turned out to see it. Mm-hmm. All the gentry folk turned up in their top hats, and then you obviously had to have a top hat to be on that scaffolding that day, because no one on the ground floor, on the floor, was wearing a top hat. So
maybe the hard hat was underneath it.
Maybe a
possibly.
hard hat. Yeah, health and safety.
Health and safety back then, probably not as impressive as it is today.
Yeah, so Victorian Library, but obviously you guys have been absolutely busy behind the scenes. And the library was under threat, wasn't it?
Yeah, dates wise, dates and numbers aren't my forte, but yeah, about 2016, we were under threat and proposed to move into the local leisure centre, the Dolphin Centre. Council U-turned on that, and then we got some funding to restore and refurbish the building.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I
We would
know.
have lost this beautiful building.
Yeah, and I would have lost the amazing project that I got to do.
Oh, no. I've already had a sneak preview and so exciting. Exactly. So how long have you been in the role then, Sue?
Oh gosh, for you know the COVID years just took
Yes,
all that kind of
absolutely
mind
no
away.
idea.
So for ages I was saying, I've been here like 10 years now. I've been here 12 years. It's 16 years.
Oh my goodness.
It came up on your Facebook memories, and I went, oh God, right, I am older than I've been
You're making
saying
me
I am.
feel old now, because I've worked with you for quite a long
I
time.
know,
now, in various
yeah,
guises.
yeah,
16,
absolutely.
are you sure? Can we check that?
Yeah,
That needs to be
it's
fact-checked.
been fact-checked on my Facebook memories. But
goodness
also
me.
the kids that obviously I started as children's
Yes.
worker in the library, those kids are now, I'll be seeing them in the pub.
Isn't it exciting when you see it, and then also at the same time, am I that old? Oh,
Yeah.
You're in the pub.
I am
like,
that old. Yeah.
They're like, I did rhyme time with you.
I know. Just start singing and waving my hands at them.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't
And they
changed
move
it,
away.
though. You haven't changed it.
Yes, anyway, thanks, Susie. Bye.
Tell you
Who
what,
was that strange woman?
I have photographed things like Riding Time and all those sessions. I love them because it's just fun.
Oh.
I get to step away from my desk and I get to just photograph Well, I'd describe it as mild chaos, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be fair.
but with a leader like on point and kind of like somehow steering the chaos.
Yeah.
Like the kids are like, they're like, here's a box of instruments, right? Let's now try and do a rhythm. But the kids are like banging them and playing with them. It's all right, but it's not your traditional library, is it? Here, like you can make noise. We didn't get shushed as we walked in. In fact, Suzy was probably the loudest person in the library as we arrived this morning.
Oh, can I tell you my two favourite library jokes?
Oh, yes, please.
go on then.
Okay, then. A man goes into a library and says, "Fish and chips, please." And then the lady behind the counter goes, "But we're a library." And he goes, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Fish and chips, please."
That's terrible.
Oh, yeah. And then the other man goes into the library and says, "Have you got any books on paranoia?" And the lady goes, "They're behind you."
Mic drop.
These are my two favourite library jokes.
He saved the best one for last.
He loves his jokes. He loves it. He always saves a joke.
So basically, can I ask, have you not got your dream job?
Yeah, I
It
have.
really must be.
I mean, actually, I don't know whether my previous job was better because, like Adam said, I was in the children's role. I was doing all the activities.
Fair
and
point.
this job's got a little bit more serious. However, I still get to step in every now and then. And the project of the restoration was once in a lifetime.
Oh, gosh, yes.
An absolute privilege. Felt like Belle in Beauty and the Beast designing your library. And
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast.
Thank you. She did look at me when she said beast.
She did. Your hunky, hairy form.
I'm just going to pull that blind down.
Yeah,
a wee
you
bit.
are.
is
Exactly.
it a
Keep
bit
talking.
blinding?
It's a bit blinded by the light. So obviously in terms of the role, you've stepped up from being the children's one to now obviously, so tiny bit more pressure.
Yes,
Yeah, just
yeah,
a that, but
yeah,
still must be very fulfilling.
Yeah, huge responsibility, enormous privilege.
Oh, I
probably.
tell you what, I'm writing that down.
Poetic,
I'm
isn't
writing
it?
that down. That is beautiful. So, what have you seen since you've started the role, as in with the children,
Yeah.
in terms of the library? So, think of the library above you, but your role, starting with the children, moving through to where you are. The library must have seen you and looked at you and gone, "Look at this lady go." I mean, that's a really interesting, job and role, and the timeline must have been fantastic.
Yeah, I think I possibly did. You might be right. I think I possibly stuck out a little bit when I first came, but my direction was get kids interested in reading.
Yes.
I was overseeing
I
the
never
book
said
start.
you stuck out.
Okay. I've heard it before.
Who's that
You said I
noisy
was the
person? Oh,
loud
that's
one.
Suzy.
Yeah. Oh no, you were loud this morning. Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. But that's what I like about it,
Yeah.
and I think that's why you're great with the kids. You do all sorts with the kids. So
Yeah.
was that your start? Is that where
Yeah,
you started
yeah,
in
absolutely.
the library service?
Previous background in education, really passionate about kids having a really good start in life. And yeah, that was my brief. So I was told what they wanted from the library service, but I wasn't directed as to how to do it. So the scope of the job was huge, and I could be really inventive, really imaginative, work with loads of partners, which is probably how we got to know each other back 16 years ago.
Stop mentioning that. He's not that old. Neither are you.
I was at the council at the time, actually.
Yeah.
So I was in the sports development team.
All right.
So there's often things we're all part of the leisure family at the time, and obviously there's things that overlap. I'd be working in schools, and there'd be overlap all the time. And that, so I suppose that was my introduction to. First I just went to do some coaching. Then before I know it, I'm running around all the parks in Darlington. I'm running around all the council facilities. Marshalling the bonfire night when we had the bonfire night.
Yeah.
So you got to see, working at the council, you got to see so much awesome stuff actually that was really great. And I look back on it so fondly.
Yeah.
And then you then build obviously relationships like that you take forward, and then I finished working at the council, but then you still end up working together down the line. It's really great. In terms of I always speak very highly of the council because I think they do a great job, and they get such a hard time.
They do.
And I know because I used to be sat on the phone in Eastbourne Sports Complex, and people would ring me up complaining about the bins. Genuine problems, but they've just come through to the sports complex. So then you'd have to help them and go through. So there's a huge amount of support and service that you end up offering the wider town, kind of outside of just what your role is. So renovations, when did they start?
Oh, when did we start planning, or when did it happen?
Oh, that's a good one.
Good point. Planning
yeah.
first.
I'm not very good with dates, but we've been open a year now, and it was under renovation for 18 months, 2 years.
Okay. So I remember hearing about the work's going to happen, and then the next thing I see is Suzy in a hard hat, high vis, steel toe cap boots, gloves, and she's on the roof. And I was like,
And I'm
Well,
scared
I've
of
only
heights.
known Suzy a short time, but that doesn't surprise me.
yeah, I know. And I was like, well, book starts change, doesn't it? You know, the
I
rhyme
just
time
started to
sessions.
sing it from the rooftops.
Why
you
not?
know.
Yeah, but it was amazing because I'm like, you've been up there, and this maybe sounds a bit feeble in a sense. By the way, you might hear some hoovering on next door. That's fine. So
More renovation work.
yeah, but you were going into places in the building that won't have been touched since the day it was built, and that to me was like,
That must be
this is pretty cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
She was also taking selfies on top of the
Yeah.
roof, going, "Look at it," and there was snow.
There was
Do you
snow and we made a little snowman on
Ah,
top of the roof.
in.
But in fairness, I can validate you did a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
It wasn't just all snowman.
It wasn't just all
I
snowman.
mean, you know, what was that journey like during that period? Obviously, did the library get relocated? Did you relocate?
No,
some of the library?
we stayed. It's quite unheard of, but we stayed in. We stayed in. It was a cost saving. Obviously, we didn't need to move all the stores out. You haven't been to the basement
No.
of this library. Have you been to the basement?
I have been to the basement.
The whole floor plan of this library we've got underneath in stores. So when someone wants a book we don't have on our shelves, we go downstairs and retrieve it. We've got the whole history of Darlington.
Gosh.
Our local studies department is downstairs in stores. Some of these items are really fragile. So our materials we decided to keep here, and that meant that we were here to look after
Yes.
them. It also meant that every time a paint sample went on the wall, I could come down and go, oh,
Well,
would you mind just? So we were hugely involved, which was, like I said, a privilege and not something we would have had if we'd been relocated elsewhere. I wouldn't have just been able to give them a nudge and go, can I go on the roof today?
Yeah, and I think the key thing is when we talk about refurbishments, you haven't necessarily, there is a new bit that we're going to talk about, a new area, but in terms of the building, I mean, what sort of things have you done to the building during that time?
The fabric of the building, well, it's listed, it's grade 2 listed.
Wow.
We had a statement of significance done really early days to find out what was significant, what was important. And we really, you know, it was a heritage-led restoration, so we knew we wanted to keep the key features. We knew, I've just showed you something
Yeah,
earlier,
it's fabulous. I'm gonna be
that was
talking about
taken
that
away
later.
over time, so
Yeah.
we've tried to put back where we could. So the fabric of the building remains the same, the walls are in the same places, the doors are in the same places. The majority of the work was to the roof, 9 individual glazed roof structures, an absolute mountain job for the team. So new roof, new electrical, lots of sustainable kind of options, lighting and heating and that kind of thing. And then the fun stuff, the painting, decor, and the repurposing of the areas. Looking forward to, you know, we've got this historic building. Libraries are quite historic institutions,
They are.
but how are we going to modernise? How are we going to make it vibrant? How are we going to bring in new audiences while retaining our old audiences?
So
amazing, isn't
what struck me the most about the work is you're saying the roof, you brought a lot more light into the building.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
It was, the thing is with the traditional building, obviously it's grade 2 listed, so you have to work within the parameters that you can work in. But what you've managed to do is really open up a lot of window space in terms of coming through. So it just changes the dynamic of how the room looks, feels. And I suppose the first thing I showed Andy when we walked in the door was the ceiling in the library. I'm like, just
Yeah.
look at the ceiling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
You know, because it's
You know.
it's incredible. It's it's the original works. And you've got the before and after photos, haven't you?
Yeah,
They're in
yeah.
there, aren't they? Some of them.
Yeah.
but also a fantastic experience on the phone.
Sorry? Oh, yeah. Do you want to go
fantastic
into that?
experience on the
Yeah.
phone.
So
Yeah, we're gonna
Andy,
go into that, yeah,
while I was
exactly.
setting up the camera.
But it's
and the stuff.
interesting, isn't it? Because certainly from my childhood, I mean, I'm old years old now, and libraries, well, I must admit, I lived my life as a child in the library. Not so much nowadays. I don't think people believe that because libraries were just stuffy, old, you had to be quiet.
Yeah.
This is definitely different, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I could probably come in here and sing and nobody would bat an eyelid. But it must be fabulous.
Suzy would probably join you.
Badly.
But it must be fabulous. You know, not again. You know, you're obviously trying to attract that younger generation. But even for people like me, I walked into the library today and going, "This is not what I would expect a library to look like."
Yeah.
And again, that must be fantastic for you to hear. But also for me, I'm going, "Wow, this is amazing."
Yeah. The wow moment came when we reopened our doors, because obviously, I keep saying it was a big responsibility
Yes.
taking over this and putting into reality that statement of significance, all that customer feedback, there was consultation after consultation. So I had all that feedback to go through. And it's not my library.
No,
it's not the staff's library. It's Darlington's library. And all those voices had to come into it. And before opening, I was so nervous. What if it's not good enough? What if people won't like it? What if, you're really nervous. And then we opened the doors. We had a beautiful singer going. And the Friends of the Library were some of the first people that walked in. And then these faces, I just stood there and watched them just light up. And came out their mouths.
It made for great photographs because all I had to do was stand in the main door in the entrance.
Oh, you there, sneakily background?
Yeah, just in the background with zoom lens. And it was just walk in, look up, mouth opens.
Yes.
It was like everybody went through the same thing.
Apart from that one lady went, "Don't video me." Like,
okay, we won't do that then.
And one lady did sort of push her way through with a bag of books, just wanting to return them.
Yeah, exactly. You always get that, though,
what
don't
a
you?
noise.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a library,
Out my way. So you do get that. But everyone went through the same process of walk in, look around, and wow. And I remember being nervous before, and I was like,
really
this is great. And I'd been in beforehand when it was just sort of staff. And we're shooting videos. We did some tour videos, which we had a great laugh making. Blooper reels.
Definitely. I didn't see any of them.
Yeah, they didn't. They never made the light of day, but the bloopers are fantastic.
Fabulous.
But we had a lot of fun with that. And then on the day, I just saw you suddenly go, "Oh, I'm nervous." And you had the singer, you had people in this entrance as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's just brilliant.
Magician.
That was it.
Illustrator. We kind of redid the day again because we celebrated our year on September I think it was the 7th this year. So we kind of invited the same people back and had another go, had another celebration.
Marvellous. A year as well. So in a year, you must have seen even more changes.
Yeah, well, it's getting the heart back in the building, getting the customers in. So we did a presentation last night for our Summer Reading Challenge winners. That's all the kids 0 to 16 when they borrow books during the school summer holidays can go in for a little prize draw of their choice. So they were here last night to collect their prizes. You're sending a child out with a PlayStation 5 with cuddly toys.
What? Did I win? What? What?
We got some good prizes.
Absolutely. I'm entering next year. I'll pretend to be 12 again.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. But again, that must be great for the kids because
I'm a bit speechless.
Yeah, they must be just like enthralled to be here to have something so heart at the centre of Darlington.
Yeah.
And like, wow, I went away with a PlayStation. Because again, back then in my time, a library is just, you go there, you find it, you do some reference work, you put the book back, you bugger off home. Now it's just amazing for them.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. Give us the breakdown. I mean, we've got an idea because we've been through, and obviously I've been here. But give us the breakdown for people that don't know. What are you've got like departments? Is probably how I'd describe it.
Yeah. We've got. I mean, it's a Victorian building, so we started with rooms, with areas.
In this area,
like you said, huge ceilings, enormous scope. But the book shelving is original. You have to keep that.
Really?
You want to keep it.
You have to, though.
You have to, but you want to. So you're working around what's significant, what's historical, what's already beautiful, or what needs to be made more beautiful.
Yeah.
So we've got our adult lending library where people walk in from. Got kind of 2 entrances there. We've got the stairwell and we've got the lift kind of accessible entrance, and that's where we've got those beautiful ceilings, double glazed ceiling, huge area, beautiful. I'm picturing the room with all the photos that Adam took when we first opened. Yeah. Beautiful area, original shelving, and that was obviously going to remain the adult lending library. It would be ridiculous to change it. Yeah. The children's library had original shelving, but that area was really tired. It was really primary colours. It was getting a bit naff, I think. I'll just say it. It was getting a bit naff.
Don't mess about with your words, Suzy. Come out and see it. Oh, you did.
But I really wanted that area to not just appeal to children, but to appeal to the adults, bringing the children. The mission behind this was, let's make this place a vibrant area. Let's make it safe, nurturing, welcoming. The children's library had to be the core of that feeling. So I got in touch with, very early days, I got in touch with Charlie Mackesy. Name drop.
Name dropper. Name dropper.
The author of The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse.
Absolutely.
Hugely popular. The book is just stunning. Shout out if anyone hasn't looked at that book. Please read that book. It takes about 15, 20 minutes with a cup of tea, piece of cake mandatory, and it'll just leave you better than it found you.
I have that book, I can confirm.
It's gorgeous, but that when I
beautiful
read that, I was at the start of kind
Right.
of working out what I wanted to do here with all that consultation, and that book was like, that's the feel, that's what we've got to have. So I reached out to Charlie via various different methods and said, oh, please, 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 and then he said, no.
Oh, there you go. However, you being you.
So I actually sent him a picture of the children's library, probably in 1940, something like that, and a picture of what it looked like at that time. And I said, this is the vision for it. Your art would be on the walls. What do you say?
Yeah.
And he said, yes.
Oh, wow.
And then we had a few years of kind of back and forth with what was appropriate, what we couldn't have and things. He won an Oscar in that time.
His price went up. I'm an Oscar person now.
Well, genuinely, that was my wow moment when we had everything painted, we had everything done. That was the last thing to go on the walls of the library, and that's when my tears came because it had been a long time coming, and suddenly it all kind of pieced together.
Adam walked me in, and that's the first thing that I noticed. I went,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
those are, and he went, yeah, they are. I'm like, oh my
It
Lord.
was so funny though, because you were getting ready and you're trying to sort out the final bits, but you had to keep the blinds down.
Yes.
Because it was like for the big thing. So
Yeah.
Big reveal.
Big
you
reveal.
were in the room, and it's got fancy LED lights and all sorts
Yes.
in that children's library. It's
Yeah.
incredible. But yeah, you had the blinds down for the entire time once it was on the wall,
Yeah.
to keep it hidden. But what an addition that is to that
If I was a
space.
child and I walked into that library, my heart would just light up. And I'd be like, this is what I expect a library as a child to look like.
Yeah.
So I think you've nailed it.
Yeah.
Well done you. Well
Thank
done you
you.
in terms of that.
Pure imagination. It's our little
No,
enchanted
that's Willy
woodland.
Wonka.
Well,
Pure imagination.
well, it's in keeping. With,
Yeah, absolutely.
with
Well,
literature.
one of my favourite films. Absolutely. The classic. Absolutely.
So have you gone through Sorry, I was resetting the camera before, so forgive me. Have you gone through the other?
Oh no,
No,
I
we've
only
just
got
been
to
on that
2.
one.
You only got
We've
to
just
2.
been
Absolutely.
chatting.
We've just
Okay,
been
so
chatting.
what's
While
our
you've been
next one?
working.
So adult lending, children's library. The next room was a reference library. Now
Right.
that was stuffy. It had
Yes.
the burgundy carpet.
Yes.
It didn't have the glazing lit up. And reference really as a whole isn't as relevant anymore.
It is
a
not
lot
with
of
the-
people
not with
are
the
using the
internet.
internet. So
Absolutely.
we were like, what do we do with this room? It needs a change. So we decided to relocate all our non-fiction stock there. So
Right.
all our borrowable non-fiction stock is on the original shelvings in the study.
great.
It's had a huge facelift, and it's got just some cracking booths, study areas, tables. You can sit in a comfy booth in there with your posh latte out of our latte machine.
Exactly.
Is it posh?
Yeah, it is posh.
There's a posh latte.
There is.
I've already finished mine.
There is froth or foam or
Yeah.
what would we call it? But yeah.
Next
it
time you
is.
get up and sort the cameras out, just another coffee.
Yeah, just another
Yeah,
one.
just run through. Yeah, what do you call it again? The coffee area thing?
Oh, brew books.
See, look, you see?
Brew books.
Brew
Yeah.
books.
You can get a cuppa at brew books. You can sit in one of these fancy pods and you can plug in your own laptop and device, or we've got them for people to use. So that's been hugely popular.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and you named the tablets the other day. I saw
Hublets.
the hublets.
See?
The hublets.
So they've got
Hublets.
tablets available for people to come in and
Yeah.
use. So when people think libraries, the reason why I wanted to feature it is coming back to the theme of our podcast. It's not just books, and books absolutely have their place. And actually, while I'm on, I saw something yesterday about people are moving back away from Kindles and more back onto hardback, proper books.
Yeah.
But yeah, this place is great because it's not just that. You've like moved with the times. You've made it so relevant for people. And I won't talk about the next bit because you're going to talk about it now, about the next area. So carry on.
I'll go to Centre for Local Studies.
Yep.
I'll save.
This is
I
the
know
bit-
where you're going for last, so I'll save it. I'll
that's
save
fine.
it to last.
Centre for Local Studies, I love it because this is when I was taking photographs and I was having a look around. I just love seeing all the old stuff. We talked about Hopetown Darlington the other
Yes.
week and the story of
Yes,
Backhouse and balancing the cart with all the gold in and all of
That's
this.
such
that,
a
and the other.
clever way of doing it.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And it's like all that, but this is where all the photographs were. So what is in there? Explain what it is.
The history of Darlington is in that room. It's probably the most visually attractive room in the library, and it's the Centre for Local Studies, so it's got all the old maps in, it's where people go to research their family history, all sorts in that room.
Microfiche?
Yes, yes.
Go check that.
Hey, check
There
you
is
out.
microfiche. That is not little fish, if you don't know what that is. How would you describe it?
Well, it's all the old newspapers and things that you can see online, and we've got them all downstairs in our basements. When I was talking, I'll have to take you down.
You're going to have to
down
look.
there. I'm gonna have a little
look. It's like something out of the Da Vinci Code in terms of like...
Well, that's what, funnily
Ghostbusters.
enough, that's what I was thinking of. I remember the old horror movies or the Da Vinci Code where we sat there scrolling through that in the dawning moment. So that's amazing
yeah,
as
so you
well.
can do your microfiche.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Microfiche and chips.
Microfiche up there, and you've got the machines and everything that
Yeah.
you can view all that on. There's maps. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
Old
yeah.
maps of the town. You're like, obviously, when there's notice,
Yeah.
you're like, what was there? You know,
Yeah.
like the main road that's out the back here is the library. Obviously, got the River Skern, but that Skern used to be like 3 times as wide, almost probably the width of the road, judging by the paintings. But St Cuthbert's Church is on there.
Yeah.
You know, so looking at stuff like that, I just love it. I just
Again,
take an
historic
interest
is
of it.
just wonderful. It's losing its place nowadays because people tend not to want to do it. But certainly for my age and that, it's fascinating. It's lovely. I love looking back and going, wow, that's what it used to look like, as in what it used to look like now. Again, I think that's fascinating. Yeah. So yes, carry on, please. More rooms.
Next door, where the banging and the rumbling is coming from.
Sorry, I thought that was Adam's stomach.
It wasn't my stomach. I can confirm I've had breakfast this morning.
Have you really? Good. It wasn't you then.
No, it wasn't me.
That is our art gallery. So that the noises is because it's the gallery changeover, so we're going
Right.
to get a different exhibition in there. We are currently sat in the Hoskins room, which is our bookable space.
The Bob Hoskins room.
Well, it's named after the architect, the original architect.
well,
G.G.
there you
Hoskins.
go. Fabulous.
So,
Fabulous.
yeah, this is bookable space, reading.
I
books,
love
that
the
kind of
pictures,
thing.
though. The pictures are fantastic.
Yeah, so there's a photo on the
I'm-
wall. Murray McLaren took that
I'm going to
photograph.
slightly name drop now. One of our famous customers is Lucy Pittaway.
Oh, wow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
So
I
we know
wouldn't have
Lucy.
told Suzy that.
Yeah, we know Lucy very well, and we've got 2 or 3 photographs in our office from Lucy. My wife's a huge fan, and we've got 2 huge baby blue-eyed sheeps and stuff like that. And obviously, when we go to see Lucy, I'm very, very privileged sometimes to have a quick sneak preview in her studio, and I can see her. And she's just a fantastic artist. But I love the huge pictures and stuff like that. And again, I think it just brightens up anyone. Really nice.
This was a local photography competition in Darlington, and so I asked the council, can I have a leaf through the pictures, and then
Yes.
contacted the ones that I liked and went,
Could I just? And they must have all gone, oh, yes, please, yes,
Yeah,
please.
so if you're listening and not seeing the picture is on the video, but if I mean, how big is that's like double A1, isn't it?
Yeah, double
A0?
A1.
I don't know what the next size.
It's
will be.
huge.
It is
Beautiful
big.
tree in front of
Yeah.
the Darlington
So
Clock
it's
Tower.
blossom in front
Shout
of
out to Murray McLaren. I hope I pronounced that right. Beautiful picture. Well done.
Yeah, and then,
Sky gorgeous.
But there's also, so you're saying, you know, this is a Hoskins room, this is a room for hire, but actually, what's that on the wall?
A screen.
A screen. So you've got screen, you've got
teaching.
whiteboard space. I'd describe this as like a boardroom type table.
Yeah, people
you
could
know.
have meetings in here.
Yeah, 100%. So actually, you could do a training workshop, small size
Yeah.
training workshop, things like that. So it's a really nice space, and it's not to be overlooked. And of course, the finish on the ceiling. You got to
See, that's what I really like is in terms of when I look around the room, Susie, I see, you know, obviously, say the beautiful area, it's room, the beautiful photographs, but there and then, or now and then, I can just see glimpses of the old.
Yes.
And again, it's just a lovely, nice touch.
Well,
Yeah.
here we
I mean,
are,
I
just
really
to my
like
right.
it.
What-
Even the radiators.
radiator. So
Yeah.
gold. paint?
Gold, yeah.
Gold in colour.
Because we wanted it to tie in lovely with the oak floor we were putting in.
Yes.
And obviously the historic wood's quite heavy and dark.
Yes.
The painters, I mean, we've got to shout out our painters on the
Oh, I
job
know.
here
It's
because
unbelievable.
I had them painting in every individual rosette on the ceilings. So when you go in the rooms, you can really see detail that you
Yes.
couldn't see pre-refurb.
Individual floret.
Yeah.
I'm going to go have a word with them. I bet they love you. Susie, yes.
We
well,
didn't have that coffee machine at the time
no.
either for them. Bless
Oh,
them.
bless,
No,
bless,
they were
bless,
really
bless.
good. The team on here was fantastic.
No, but as I said, the nods and the touches to the old building, but combined it with the new technology, again, just fabulous. We could, this room would be great for having interviews. I could interview Adam. You're sacked. Thank you. That's why I sacked you.
I was
You back?
I was checking the cameras.
All right, okay,
I
sorry,
was
you're
checking
back,
the
you're back,
cameras.
you're back.
Next room, please.
Yeah, next room.
The reminiscence room, which I haven't shown you today actually,
right.
is across the hall, and that is it's basically a mirror image of this room.
Right.
But it's got some original features in. It was, when the library first opened, the ladies' reading room. I think one of
the ladies'
the
reading room.
yeah, I
Very
think one of
nice.
only 2 in the country at the time. Might have been the
Gosh.
only one at the time. So it's got a beautiful fireplace in there. We made the room very traditional in decor and have branded it a reminiscence room, and we've put our reminiscence collection in there, so it's bookable, free bookable, and it's all around nostalgia, so that people can come in, they can bring out our reminiscence materials, they can chat about the past, and lead those conversations.
Yeah, we'll have to have a look when you go.
No,
because
definitely,
it's
definitely.
really cool.
It's good for a game of dominoes.
It is good for
Yeah.
it would be good for a game of dominoes. Actually,
Yeah.
it's,
May I just ask a quick
Yep.
question? Is the library bookable then by terms of, my wife's a member of the Darlington Business Club, and we're all constantly looking for new places to hold a business event. So are these
yes.
types of rooms bookable?
This is bookable, yeah,
Yes.
and then other ones I would talk, I would
Ha,
discuss.
ha, ha. I shall put my wife in touch.
No, we'll put you in touch because
Yeah, definitely. It's a
I mean,
great
it's a
idea.
great space.
But
that
that's what I'm saying,
historic
it's
foyer
just-
out there is just stunning, isn't
No.
it, when you walk in
Yeah,
there?
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Great.
Um,
The reminiscent room, right? So sorry, next.
And then it's your
we go.
favourite room.
Drum roll,
actually-
please.
actually, I like all of them.
Yeah, but
But
You like the things in this room
I
the
like the
most.
things in this room because, it's not a lot of libraries doing this. I imagine. I mean, I don't go around all
honestly,
libraries, but
it's an interesting thing, isn't it?
You
Yeah.
had a whistle stop to go for it. What is in
Go
this
on.
last room?
Okay, so it was historically it was an e-library. It was a room full of computers. When people didn't have computers, they could come into the library. However, we don't need as many of those anymore.
Nope.
So again, we had a little bit of scope with this room. What we're going to do with this one? Historically, it's in the old part of the building. So,
Right.
we were looking at what details we keep, what we don't. There wasn't a lot in there that we needed to consider. It's got a beautiful kind of orangery roof, so obviously that's keeping.
Yeah.
It had some beautiful beams and had some panelling. But other than that, we got to play with it a little bit.
Okay,
So
open canvas, really.
we went bold with this room.
We went mad. In
we
other words,
went
is what
mad.
she's trying to say. We went mad.
We saw Victorian times
Yes.
and we went
Mad.
2024 or whatever.
The consultation told us that the public wanted really good technology offer. They wanted us to be leaders in innovation. They
Gosh.
wanted people to come down and have that experience where they could learn and develop.
It's pretty
with digital.
forward-thinking, though, isn't it?
Well, we say that, but it's one of the library's universal offers is digital. So we should be leading on these things. And there's some great work, certainly around the Northeast in libraries, of us doing this. But it's not something we can freely do with our budget, shall I say?
No,
So
I
this was a grant application, and yes, I went big. Why not? So yeah, shout out to Arts Council England for this one. But yeah, we produced the Hive. We
And it is
produced
incredible.
the Hive.
Think of buzzing bees. Working.
Buzzing bees. And it's just a really aspirational area. The colours, it's really bright, it's really vibrant. It went for lime green, orange. The seating is spectacular. It's got a bench workshop area, and then it's got your kind of private study on the other end. And then the bid also included about 100K's worth of super innovative technology, which was fun. Which was fun.
I can guarantee it is fun.
Absolutely.
So Andy walked in and I went, look over there.
And
he
I
went,
just went, oh. And immediately I was over there. 3D printers. 3D printers?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Exactly. So take us through. So you got 3D print. What did you go for? What was it for?
So
Right,
we
let's go
went for the 3D printers. Designing and printing things on there that could be got little toy things you could be making, but
Yes.
it could be as simple as something breaks on your fridge. You might
Yes.
have to buy a new fridge, or you could repair with just this tiny little thing on a 3D printer.
100%. I'll just add to that because I'm very much into my 3D printing, as Adam knows. And it was probably in the first year that I got it, Michelle, my wife, broke something on the fridge. Or in the dishwasher, sorry. So I'm like, right, okay, off to the Zanussi website. I'm like, £25 for a piece of plastic. Hang on a minute. I went on to my favourite 3D website. Sure enough, I went, right, I'll just print you one. And it was incredible.
That's
You know, so for a
fantastic.
couple of pence, because that's all the filament cost, I'm like, there you go, I've replaced it.
Yeah.
So I love my 3D printer. There's
You'll have
loads
to
of
come
things.
to the session.
Absolutely,
You,
I
can-
will
you
do.
can you can help us along with that.
Yeah,
'Cause that sounds
exactly.
good.
That sounds really good. So what can people do? I mean, do they have to pay for it? Do they have to come along and provide the model?
At the moment, it's been developing the offer because easy for me to say that went, that went wrong. The offer, because we've got a new team in there, so we've had new equipment which we only got a few days before opening, so we didn't have a lot of time to learn how to use this equipment or what we were going to do with it, how we were going to bring it into the library offer. So presently we offer design and print it's weekly for adults where they can drop in. It's free to attend, it's free to design, and we just charge for printing based on
Of course,
what they're
because
printing.
the filament does cost you.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
then we offer that on weekly as well to younger children. And then we've got a really exciting schools offer. So all the schools in Darlington have been contacted and they can essentially book workshops with us. And we've had classes last year of 30 kids sat round in this fantastic aspirational area on the Tinkercad and things and working towards their 3D print and then having their items printed out. Wonderful.
It is. And I mean, I must admit, when I first got my 3D printer, I was very, very, very early, and I got one of the very first ones.
Yeah.
And I would just spend hours sitting there watching it build, and I'm like, there's the finished article, click, and you're like, that's incredible. Nowadays, I just get contacted by, print me this, print me this, print me this. But to the kids out there, again, they are becoming more affordable, but I'll be honest, they are still a couple of £100 for a decent one. Me being geeky, I noticed the Prusa models, fantastic models, really, really, really good. But for children out there, just to come along and, as you say, Tinkercad, free piece of software, I'll design something, I'll print something. And nowadays, I've seen the technology grow, Suzy. Honestly, I subscribe to a couple of websites. There's absolutely nothing. You go in and, I had a friend around the other month, and he was like, oh, I like Star Wars. I went, watch Star Wars. About 100 pages worth. You could print a full-size model of the Darth Vader's costume and helmet, a full model of the Death Moon, Death Star, sorry. Yeah. And again, it's just like, what? All of these just print from? Absolutely. Just you print them all. So for children out there, it must be amazing.
Yeah, and those skills and giving them something different to aspire to, giving them a different career to look at. It's a fantastic area. So as well as the 3D printers, we got laser cutters.
It's pronounced laser cutters.
Can you pronounce the cricket or the cry cut? What is that pronounced as?
Cry cut.
Cry
I don't
cut?
know what it is.
Is
Is that the laser cutter?
the laser cutter?
Yeah, it does more of the stickers and things like that. So we've got both of those.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
The mug press, you can design your own mug, T-shirt press, that kind of thing. They do animation in there, movie making.
No way.
They've got some green screen technology. The sewing and the fabrics. So we've got digital sewing, embroidery, overlocker machines, and that's been hugely popular. We have a drop-in every week, and people can bring their own knitting, their crocheting, and they can utilise our equipment and the things that they've been making in there, and that make, do, and mend kind of.
Oh, but that's fantastic as well. And you've missed out the VR.
Well, it's because it's the most exciting one. So, we've got 32 class
How many?
VR. 32.
32. That's an amazing amount of them.
It is. Well, it's a full class, so it means that when schools book with us, every pupil in that class has a virtual reality headset to themselves. And it's all curriculum-based activities. So I like my mountains, don't I, and volcanoes. I went in on that class, and you are literally, you're stepping into a volcano, you're seeing the lava flow, you're learning about how mountains are formed, but you are there.
Yeah.
And for kids as well, the history, they're going back to ancient Rome, they're seeing the Colosseum, and then in terms of our literacy offer, teachers might be in their class saying, we want children to do some creative writing. We want them to write about them walking along a beach and going into the sea. Some children haven't been to the seaside. They haven't experienced that. So you're asking them to pull something out of their head which they don't have.
No.
This is so immersive where they are there, they feel like they're there, they're seeing it, they're watching the whales go by. It's incredible. Take that back to their school to be doing their writing about. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Again, I was a very early adopter of the VR, the very first Quest and things like that. What I find amazing, and obviously I did, when I was in school, we learned about the Colosseum, we learned about ancient Rome, etc. However, put the headset on, I can sit in a seat in the Colosseum with a, if you like, simulated fighting arena, but I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what it must have been like, looking around and seeing all of the crowds cheering.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
This is what it must have been like. And again, I'm finding that VR nowadays, to me, it's opening up another avenue of history. Seeing what it used to be like. And obviously for you to be able to offer that to the children out there, again, I'm just aghast.
Yeah.
Gagged with it all. It's just amazing. It really is good. Are you not the leading library in the Northeast? You must be.
We feel very lucky at the moment, I'll say that, because we've had the restoration, because we've had the refurbishment, because we've had support from Arts Council, Library On, we've had some financial things that we wouldn't ordinarily have been able to got. So we're probably feeling quite pleased at the moment, but other libraries, hopefully their time will come as well.
But if
and
you
we've
can
got
be
a great network.
If you can be sort of like the one to aim for, I'm really hoping that other libraries are looking around going, we want to be as good as Darlington, which again, huge accolade to yourself. But if they can do that, and that can spread throughout the UK, every child is going to go, but ma'am, can I go to the library?
Absolutely.
That's what we want to be able to get back into the culture. Oh, fantastic. Really good this.
It is seeing those schools come in last year has been incredible, because you have got 30 odd pupils there doing something hugely educational, huge lot of learning there.
You can't actually do a trip into a volcano.
But
So it allows you.
But the enjoyment there, and not a
interesting.
worksheet in sight,
Absolutely.
it's just immersed in something else.
Yeah. So obviously, with that in mind, you're well placed with the technology. Books still have a massive part. I mean, you're grounded in the books. I love books. Andy loves books. It's what it's all about. I mean, why is it important for our children? What's your take on all of your 16 years of this?
Yeah.
Like, why is it important for A, Darlington to have a library, and B, what about what does it mean for the kids?
It's funny because it brings me to a little Facebook post last night. I said we put on about the summer reading challenge. We had a baby under one won a prize, so we put it on our Facebook page. Well done to our winners. Someone wrote, "Oh, baby can read at that age." Yeah, absolutely. They're reading. Our youngest member was 1 day old, and let me tell you, that baby will grow up to be a fantastic adult. Giving children the best start in life is something I'm hugely passionate about. That is what our libraries are, and if they can continue that reading journey, it's all the things we all know. It's the stress reducing, it's the intelligence, it's the emotional intelligence, it's that peace after a long day.
It's the escape.
Yeah.
It's looking at the book, and my wife's a huge reader, and she just loves it. And I can read a page, and she can read a page, and I'm like, tell me what you've seen. Her vision's completely different to mine, but I believe that's where the enjoyment comes from. You are reading the book, and you are that person, or you are that, whatever you are reading. Again, it's just great, and I feel nowadays, sometimes it's missing. People are just scrolling. It's like, enjoy it. Get into the book. Feel the book.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's that TikTok culture, isn't it? If I can only last 2 seconds scrolling on my phone.
Exactly.
And actually, I am a reader, and that is my escape. I had a lot of sleepless nights with this refurbishment. I had a lot of times coming out of work when my head was full and I was stressed to pieces. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to read this book. I always could, because it was the one thing that just went, pew.
Yeah. And
Safe
took you away,
space.
didn't you? And then you were different. You weren't in your own world. You were in that world.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is still that beautiful escapism. Forget about what stressful work it is. Both myself and Adam run our own businesses. Sometimes you just go, do you know what? I'm going to have a little trip into this world over here. And it's fabulous.
Absolutely.
100%. So as if the refurbishment wasn't enough, Suzy decided to take on another challenge.
Did I?
Abroad.
Oh, which one?
Oh, what do you mean? Which one? There's more than one now.
The big one where you went over to.
The Himalayas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to let you say it.
Yeah.
But basically, she was like, right, I've got to go for a walk now. I was like, what? She was like, yeah, I've got bricks in my bag. Or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it
yes,
you do?
I did.
Come
I was
on.
going to the...
See, she forgets about this, but I was taking photos and doing... She's like, right, I've got to carry a rucksack full of bricks now. And
What?
So, yeah, and you'll love the reason why.
Go
So
for it.
please tell us about this.
It is a bit strange for a librarian, but yeah, my hobbies is hiking,
Right.
trekking, mountaineering. So we've been to various places, the Alps, volcano climbing in Ecuador, all these wonderful
beautiful,
things.
yeah.
But yes, last year we'd done a number of different mountain ranges, and we hadn't done the Himalayas. And the Himalayas, obviously the biggest mountain range in the world. That seems like a challenge we should take on. So we looked at Everest Base Camp, and then there's a beautiful 6,000 odd metre mountain called Mirror Peak.
Right.
So those were in our sights. Are you talking about the library there? Yeah, okay. So
I'm linking it back.
Yeah, linking it back.
So this is what you do for leisure, okay?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
this is her leisure activity, and I love how you said which one, because she's done loads. And I know she's done loads. I was just trying to pinpoint one. But this is where leisure and your passion cross over,
Yeah.
and this is why I wanted you to talk about it.
Yeah. So it is a challenge. Any kind of high altitude hike like that is a huge challenge. Your legs, your breathing, all that kind of thing. So I was going to the gym every night, going on the Stairmaster with a backpack on, with 15 kilograms of weight
Loving
to
this.
get used to it. But we obviously paid for the trip ourselves, but I fundraised on this expedition
Right.
because the people of Nepal had been hit by, well, a few terrible things, but there'd been an earthquake a few years previous. A very, very poor community, and they rely on their trekkers going in.
Yes.
But you're very aware that you're stepping in their territory.
Of course.
So I wanted to do some fundraising, so I searched around and I found this lovely, absolutely smashing little library in Kathmandu called the Nepal Japan Children's Library. So I contacted them and did a bit of my due diligence, made sure that the money would be going to the right place. But yes, we fundraised, and then when I got there, I managed to visit the library where they got a beautiful welcome, really, really beautiful welcome from these children. And then we went in, we did some kind of told them about where I was from. I showed them the pictures of our library, very different to theirs, and took them some toys, some resources from my rhyme time days and things. We all sat round the parachute, playing parachute games, and then I left them with a huge donation of money for books.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There you go,
That
see.
is really well done, you.
So when you say passion, real passion.
Real passion is
Real
coming
passion
out.
for libraries.
Absolutely
I
brilliant.
thought that was an incredible story that was worth sharing. So thank you for sharing that. Brilliant. Okay.
Future plans then.
Yes. What is the
Because
future?
you don't strike me as a person that sits back.
Future plans for the library.
Absolutely.
Future plans for the library. One thing I don't know when I'm going to get round to it, but one thing I would love to do is, and it brings me back to this self-led tour booklet that I showed
Funnily
you
enough,
before.
that's exactly where I was going to.
Was it? Yes.
Yeah, because I was going. We need to mention this.
For people who can't see, we've got a little. Oops, that was a crash. A little
I'm going to sack him again.
Sorry, that was me pulling things off table. I'm trying to check the camera's bite.
Yeah. Alina, come back. All is forgiven.
We've got a little self-led tour booklet showing people around the library that people can just pick up and do as and when. We know with the bicentennial next year, we're going to have a lot of visitors to Darlington. So, we've put ourselves on as a visitor attraction. But we wanted to make it really, really exciting. So we got some augmented reality in here.
Exactly.
Do you want
So
to describe
excited.
it? You describe it.
Oh, right. Well, for the people that don't know, Suzy then offered me a free self-led tour book. And she opened up the booklet and basically said, get your phone out and scan this. Well, I knew exactly what to do. So there is, for people that can't see, there is a description on each page of how the library is and used to look. And you've got the ability here, scan the QR code for the original foyer. So for people who don't know what augmented reality is, it asked me to scan the QR code, and then it said, scan the room that you're in, which I did duly, and it showed me the room as it is today. And then there was an interesting tap to reveal button at the top, of which I did. And then Suzy went, scratch the screen. And as I scratched the screen turned and showed me what the room was like in its previous life. And I was allowed to move around to say, the door that you're looking at, here what it was beforehand. And it's an incredible experience. And again, to embrace that technology, Suzy, was it your idea or was it a joint decision between the committee?
think
Take the glory.
I think
Take the
it
glory.
was my
Yes.
I think it was my idea. But I obviously had a lot of techie help.
Yes,
with it.
no. But again, for allowing to allow anybody to be able to use, because everybody's got a smartphone nowadays, but to
Yeah.
have what I'm getting at is the extra interactivity.
Yeah.
You're not having a librarian so they kind of help you with that. You pointed me at that. I went, well, I know what to do.
Yeah.
And then to have that whole thing is just incredible.
I think for me the difference is seeing it in situ, because you can go in the
Yes.
reference library and you can see the pictures and you've got pictures on the
Yeah.
walls and things, and that's amazing. But actually being
actually
stood
to
there
see it,
and going, oh,
move it
that's
around,
there.
yeah.
Move it around. I
Yeah.
think that is such a good way of utilising technology to kind of show that, and I'd strongly recommend people do it.
Highly. So leading back to my original question then, please. So what future plans have you got?
So this has been a good idea. What I'd love to
wow.
do is, we've got some historic pictures of the town. I would love to do something like this, but mirroring the town, and so that people can go out at different places within the town and take that journey back into the past as well.
So let me give you one idea. I've got a friend, an acquaintance that I met, that I was working with him in complete standalone business, nothing to do with AR, nothing to do with VR and everything like that. But I happened to ask a question about something which led on to what I'm about to tell you. So I can't remember the gentleman's name, so whoever you are, please forgive me. But he worked on the railways. And what he showed me was that you could get onto a train and you would travel around the little track that he had. You then would put on a VR headset and you could look around, and the same journey could take you back in time.
I love it.
And you were actually travelling around and going, this is what it used to look like.
Yeah.
So your idea, if we could walk down Darlington High Street, now put your headset on in this room, there you could walk down Darlington High Street as it was in the 1900s or the 1800s. That would be a fabulous idea.
It would be wonderful, because Darlington's history is there. We've got it.
It's
got it in this
immersive.
building.
It's amazing history,
Yeah.
Darlington. Really is fantastic. So they're great ideas.
I love it.
Absolutely. So those types of things, again, you sound as though, Suzy, you're on the cutting edge all the time, going, get people back into not just the library, but into Darlington.
Yeah, celebrate our town, definitely.
Yeah, no, 100%.
A couple of things just to add. What we haven't touched on today is this library holds gigs. There's another fact.
Oh, yes.
Are you DJing again?
No, not me.
Oh,
but
right, okay.
we've had bands in, haven't we?
Oh,
Various
yeah, I've had
bands.
some really good bands in.
From, is it Tracks?
Yes.
Yeah, from Track. They've helped coordinate, and they've delivered some fantastic bands. And you've literally had families rocking it out in the children's library.
In the rave area.
Obviously, it's not like at the time when people would necessarily be trying to read and stuff, but you're like embracing it, you're using it as a space.
No, that would have been hilarious. Somebody just sat there, can you keep the noise down,
Yep.
please? I'm trying
There's
to
been
read.
magician shows in the children's library. There's been all kinds of things. It is not your stereotypical shh, be quiet sort of library. It's so vibrant. The noise you've heard today next door, they're installing an art installation, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're taking one down and putting new
Yeah.
one up. So different artists featured in the gallery. So forgive the noise, because actually it's a really working space that's live
No,
and
it's
doing
been
things all the time. So, I think there's so many places going for it, and we wanted to come on here because actually, and I didn't say this at the start, Monday is National Podcast Day.
Is it
and
really?
we thought, let's come to the library, feature the library. We've talked about it. Well, what better than trying to bring this on? Hopefully, all the technology works at the end of this, by the way. It is recording. So, but we wanted to bring it on the road and come and shine a bit of light on a fantastic local facility.
Thank you.
No, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much, Suzy. What an amazing journey. And obviously, all credit to yourself and the team. Thank you very much indeed for hosting us and this
You're
special
welcome.
podcast.
It's been lovely to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much. So that's really great. What we normally do at the end of every podcast is ask, what are you doing for the weekend?
Oh,
Hiking in the Himalayas.
I wish I was actually,
okay.
but the weather is
Yeah,
it's
pretty-
not helping our plans at the
No,
moment.
it's not at the
So no,
moment.
I'm off to the Hippodrome to see Ghost tomorrow.
Yep.
No, not that one. That's
Another fantastic venue.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Another
Absolutely.
fantastic
It's really good. I mean, Darlington, as far as I'm concerned, is just growing and growing. And we've seen, certainly, both me and Adam chatted about this when we were doing the Hopetown episode, the amount of vibrancy in the companies and business and just everything's been. I've just seen Darlington grow and grow, and I think it's just amazing.
And it's working with local business. Like I said to
Yeah.
you, you've worked with me, obviously, to do photos and stuff. But then I was like, could we come and do the podcast? You're like, great. I was at Hopetown again the other day because North East Chamber of Commerce hosted their networking event there. So it's great to see that local facilities are integrating with businesses, and reaching out. And I think, if you haven't been to the library, this is me telling you, you should come down and have a look because it's seriously awesome.
Michelle and the Darlington Business Club, guess where they're hosting their event next Wednesday? Hopetown.
Oh, Hopetown, are they?
Yeah,
I should really read my emails.
So, sorry, yes. So, what are you doing at the weekend then? He said.
Yep, Hippodrome
To see Ghost.
And then, lots of time with my dog, who,
bless
him, gets dragged on a lot of walks.
Yes. Walkies, Mum.
Small walk.
Just not.
Hikeys. Let's go for a little hike.
Yeah, exactly. Was he in your backpack as you were trapping out?
We do have a doggy backpack,
Oh,
just in case.
my goodness me. I was joking.
He's a bit of a lump, though.
Oh, bless him, bless him.
What
And about yourself,
me?
Adam?
Kids rugby festival thing tomorrow. So I'm coaching the mighty under-10s.
The mighty under-10.
And then
Are you playing?
I am playing.
Yes.
So
Remember
I'm
my
playing
golden
tomorrow.
rule?
Yeah, no, I haven't lost yet. We're three for three.
The first time you do,
We
I
wouldn't-
remove your sponsorship.
We won by 2 points last Saturday. I felt it for days. I'm not as young as you used
Oh,
to be.
bless you, mate. Bless you.
What about you, sir?
So tomorrow we are very proud to be doing the MSG Elevate session.
Yes.
So that's a local Middleton St George where I live. There's a business venture there, and we were contacted, and we're going to be representing Resilient Systems there. I'm taking my VR headset.
Oh.
So just to sort of like see, again, with great respect, obviously showing our IT wares, but it's just a bit of interaction. I've always found that you've just stand there, hello. If you've got something there like a VR headset, some people still don't know, still haven't, I've not tried it. Pop it on, have a few exciting things, and hopefully, be there for people if they need any IT support, etc. So that's me. And then Sunday, going up to Tynemouth to see a friend. So that'll be really
Beautiful.
Nice. Beautiful place. Right.
Beautiful
Well, thank you very
place,
much
yeah.
indeed. Once again, Suzy, absolute pleasure to meet you for the first time.
You too.
And been great to have you hosting on the podcast. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and Adam,
thank you.
thank you for the invite.
Yeah, thank you for letting us in.
Yeah, letting us in this great, lovely area.
Absolutely. So if you want to know more about library, just search Darlington Libraries. There is websites. It's council-run facility. It is here for the people. So make sure you use it and come and have a look and see what it's all about, because there is something for everyone.
There certainly is.
There is. Right.
Okay,
next
see you
week.
later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.